All right, and we are live. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Disanity, and it is the last week of the month, and of course, the last week of the month always is our news and notes week. Isn't that correct, dear?
Yes, it's correct.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. We actually have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm sure you guys have already heard it ad nauseum in some of the other streams before us, but we're gonna kind of give our take on everything that was going on today in Florida that is kind of connected to, obviously, Disney World and the economy down here. We're going to talk a lot about it tonight. But before we do that, as usual, we want to do a little bit of mousekeeping. We'll start out with, of course, the dean over the dean over at theliveplace.com. Family-friendly streams throughout the week, Monday through Sunday. If you're looking for a stream, he's your TV guide of streamers. There's tons of them out there. So if you're looking for a certain one on a certain day with a certain topic, Dean, the Live Place, it's the place to be for sure. Check him out. Of course, our two partner channels are Steve's World and Disney Dan. Steve went live last night with Just Another Monday Night, which was a great stream last night. And goes live with me on Saturdays. And of course, Dan, he goes live on Saturdays with Disney Fiasco. And he's been doing his Food Fridays, so be sure to check him out. We do have, for those that have asked, we do now have finally our P.O. box down here in Florida. There it is listed below. I'll leave that up a little bit later just in case. But if anyone is looking to send us any magic mail, we love getting letters and postcards. They're just so much fun, aren't they?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we love it.
Who doesn't like a letter or postcard?
It's true. But
especially now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been great getting those letters and postcards. We got one just the other day from Charlie and Stacy, the Disney Nerd Herders, which was wonderful. And Steve sent us one not too long ago. So it's been awesome. Membership is here for our channel as well. Thank you to all our members, our newest members, James Ryan. James, thank you so much. Team Marie Photography is new as well. We'll get into our membership and say hi to all of them in a little bit. Lots of different perks in there and some more perks coming. There's some really cool stuff that we're going to be giving away to some of our members, which I can't wait to announce as we get into it. Aren't we kind of excited about that? Yeah, some really nice stuff I think you guys will like. So it does have its perks for sure. And once the park's open...
Membership has its privileges.
But don't, please understand, membership is strictly voluntary. We are just happy that you're here. Nothing changes for those that don't sign up for membership. Nothing changes. Streams and vlogs and everything will still be there by all means. Well, let's say hi to everybody in the chat.
No, we got a lot of...
We do. We have a ton of people. I have to get through that. I'm sorry. It's part of the business. No, I'm just kidding. Rhiannon is here. Rhiannon, good to see you. Yep, James Ryan, our newest member. Good to see you, James. Thank you again. We appreciate your generosity, buddy. Alex Brenner's here. It's Joey's World is in the house. Rob Wieska's here. Nathan Rita. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you, buddy. Brian Eisenhardt, another one of our members. Brian, good to see you. Surya Myers, good to see you, dear. Donna Jaworski is here as well. Donna, great to see you, dear. Both of them are members as well. Great to have our members here. Good to see them. Tim Pruitt, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Team Marie Photography, another one of our newest members. Good to see you. Orlando Mike is here. Russ Stapleton, another member. Good to see you, Russ. Hope you're doing well. Eric Newman's in the house. The legend, R. Johns. Richard, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Another member as well. All our members. Great to see everybody. So glad you're here. I still feel like Rainbow Connection should play when I use these. I know it's true. David Stevens is here. Good to see David. Let's see. I'm feeling a bit sentimental today, missing you guys. Oh, we're missing you too. I hope you're doing well. It's Joey's World for sure. We are missing you guys. So what's up, Mouse Talk? We said hi to you, Nathan. Good to see you, buddy. Surfer Girl 326, welcome in. Good to see you. Wishes Forever, welcome in. Good to see you. Orlando, Mike, I think I said hi to you, buddy, but just in case I looked into it and to activate membership. Okay, good. All right, good. Glad you're able to see about membership, buddy. Mike Wheeler's in the house. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. Dreamer Deborah's here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else we got. Oh, wow. It just jumped on me. I apologize, guys, if it jumps. I'm trying to get there. I think we are up to date on everybody.
If we missed you, just pop something back in there again.
Yeah, we'll do our best. So we got 20 watching already with 18 likes. Everybody, please remember, hit that like button for it. Definitely does help. We'd appreciate it. But the big news, of course, today, and it's been all over the internet and it's been all over YouTube so far. I think Zip touched on it for a while. They were talking about it. Jim touched on it. We're going to touch on it. I'm sure other channels are going to touch on it. Fire Free Project is here. They go live right after us, Ed and Mindy. Be sure to check them out. Once we're done here, go check them out tonight. They are going live, I think, at 9 or so. Check them out. Rob Wieska, good to see you as well, buddy. But the big news of the day is the Orange County, I got to read this because they don't have an acronym for it. The Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force.
I was trying to come up with something.
They met today, and they actually did set guidelines for the possible phased reopening of Florida, or the Orlando Central Florida area, and that's big and very big news for Disney fans, Universal fans, and things of that nature, because they were directly talked about in these meetings today. So we're going to kind of talk about what was talked about in the meeting, what the guidelines are, what the mandates are, and then we'll get into some speculation, and then I have some questions for you guys in reference to all of this, to see exactly what you guys think of it. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. I can't tell you it's Joey's World. It's a gift. Oh, good. Russ sending something. Dean is here. Dean is here. Dreamers Empire. Dean, we were just talking about you, buddy.
In a good way.
In a good way. Yep. Absolutely. Finn O'Sullivan's in. Good to see you, Finn. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. All right. So let's see. So I'm going to read a little bit of this again. They kind of broke it down into different areas. They broke it into hotels. They broke it down into restaurants. They broke it down into movie theaters and stuff like that. And, of course, then they broke it down even further for theme parks. There are small theme parks and large theme parks. And we're not going to touch on all of it. We're going to touch on restaurants because that's going to directly affect Disney and their restaurants. We'll touch on the hotels a little bit. And, of course, we'll touch on the large theme parks. Detroit Disney Duo. Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you so much. Our newest member.
That's awesome.
They are part of our Park Hopper membership team. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate your loyalty and generosity. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Wishes forever. I thought I saw Charlie and Stacy. I did. There they are.
And Meredith. From Do Philly Crew.
The Philly Crew is here as well.
Happy birthday, Madison.
Yep, Madison's birthday is today. Alex Brenner again.
No, there was Dances with Goofy.
Dances with Goofy. It's been a while. Good to see you.
And Kay. And
Carlos is here. Noah's here. Kay Atwood is here. The Philly Crew. And I think there's Jim. Jim, more sunshine, please. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. And Detroit Disney Duo. Thank you so much for that.
Must be a Sunshine Nation.
Tina McNeil's here. There's one of our members. Good to see you, Tina. Hope you're doing well, dear. But I kind of want to talk about this. So we'll touch on hotels first. We'll talk about the guidelines. And these are the phase 1 guidelines. And then we'll talk a little bit about mandates for hotels. And then we'll get into all the other stuff. MGM Family Travel, welcome in. Good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. We got 36 watching. Thank you all so much for being here. So hotels guidelines, phase 1, housekeeping services to be limited and allow for minimal guest and employee exposure. Makes sense.
Makes sense. I mean, you realize in DVC, not that we probably want to get into discussions right away, you don't really have that anyway. They come once a week. We do just fine. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Just don't be slobs.
Right. Lucy MGM is here. Captain Akron, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. God, wow, this is really jumping today, guys. Thank you all for being here.
Making our brains work.
Yeah. Promote, if available, mobile check-in, which Disney has talked about now. They're almost making that mandatory. No, I think they are making it mandatory at this point.
It's so easy, and if you have the capability of a computer or a smart device, I know some people might be a little harder, but it's so easy to do, and it really is. Just makes the whole process, I think, a lot easier. Period. You get notified when your room's ready. You just go to your room. You open the door.
Jonathan Chung, welcome in.
It's really good for antisocial people.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But housekeeping services only clean upon request or when guests depart. So, like, if you're not DVC, if you're just regular guests, they come in every day and do housekeeping. Well, that's not going to happen. Now, employees, they allow employees to work from home if not playing a critical role in servicing guests. That makes sense. Michelle the Quilter, welcome in. Michelle, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Only deliver room service to the guest store, which is kind of what you get now with DoorDash and stuff like that.
Yeah, any kind of delivery.
Uber Eats, they just kind of knock on your door and leave it and drop it.
We've had some issues in our apartment complex where they're leaving things at the wrong place.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Provide self-parking, promote social distancing for all guests and staff, recommend touchless sanitizer at entry, increase cleaning service, additional sanitation service through cleaning companies, and staff who are 65 and older are encouraged to stay home. Those are the guidelines for hotels, and we're just touching on hotels right now. Andrea Houston, welcome in. Good to see you, Andrea. Hope you're doing well. Timothy Rainwaters, I don't know if I say hi to you, buddy, but good to see you. Now, mandates are what you have to do. And they are all employees required to wear a face mask, hand sanitizer at entry to be in plain visible sight. All employees with flu-like symptoms are advised to stay home. Front desk to sanitize themselves on a regular basis. I guess they mean like hands and stuff like that. Consistent cleaning of all guest areas. Front desk to utilize sneeze guards, which is interesting. I'm not really sure what that is.
They're when we went to the post office, they have the things hanging
down. Yes, that's the
plastic
sneeze guard. I got you.
In front of the cashiers, like at Walmart.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Remove all service items in guest rooms to include glassware, coffee cups, etc. Mini bars to not be stocked. Do not offer self-food service. Space pool furniture according to distance. Oh, so pool furniture is going to be like 6 feet apart. Oh. So that makes sense.
No tanning next to anybody.
Door handles, elevator buttons, they're going to be sanitized regularly. Remove all coffee makers from the guest rooms. Remove all guest collateral items except for those that are single use. Sanitize guest keys before and after each use. Sanitize bell carts after each use. So all that it all makes sense for hotels. Disney's going to have to do all that. You're going to sanitize that. After every time, like when I use but I don't know. I guess it depends. Like for Disney's case, your room key is your magic band.
Well, with some people won't have magic bands.
Right.
There's still a select few who don't, but you're right. We shouldn't have to worry about that.
That won't be as big of a deal. But all the other things make sense for the most part, right? I would say.
I mean, they probably should be doing some of this stuff anyway.
Right.
So maybe it'll make us kind of revisit what should be being done on a regular basis before all this happens.
I agree. Meg Mickey's Magic, welcome in. Good to see you. Shouldn't you always stay home if you have flu-like symptoms?
Yes.
Yeah, you should, but that doesn't mean, look, I'll be honest with you guys, and I don't know if Melissa will remember this, but I used to play on a volleyball team, men's league on Wednesday nights. I used to play with 102 fever.
But he'd call out of work that day, and then he'd go play volleyball.
But I'd go play volleyball. I wouldn't go to work, but I'd go.
And I'd be the opposite. I'd be the one going to work making everybody sick and then not go to my extracurricular activities.
Exactly. I did. Well, they needed me.
His standards are a little different.
Now, at the pools, will family members have to all be separated by 6 feet? So is my son going to be sitting 24 feet away? Carlos, I don't think so.
They can't do that.
I don't think they can do that.
You and people that aren't in your party. You can't really keep your family member. You're all staying together in your rooms. I think it's strictly to keep yourself distanced from other guests.
Right.
Your family can be together.
Right. I used to wipe down all services in hotels anyway, even before all this started. Yeah, and that's fine. Some of it is just going to be old hat, and some of it's going to be. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to.
It may depend on the hotel.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it might.
So those 2-star hotels may have to be stepping it up a bit.
Now, here's the restaurant guidelines. We'll touch on this next. I'm going to save theme parks for last because that's going to be what all of us are ultimately going to talk about. Restaurants, the guidelines say paper disposable menus. More than likely, that's going to be what they're hoping for. It's guidelines. It's not saying it's mandated.
Oh, that should be.
But that's going to, but guidelines can change. Encourage takeout, online orders, touchless sanitizer at entry. And again, phase 1 and phase 2, if you're 65 and older, they recommend you stay home. For staff, it says staff. Now, mandates, so these are the mandates. These are the things that you have to do, that restaurants will have to do. There's a list of them. And a lot of them are going to be redundant. Hand sanitizer at every table. Hand sanitizer at entry to be in plain sight. So every time you come in, they're going to have something. All employees required to wear a face mask. Temperature checks for staff prior to shift. Anybody with a temperature above 100.4 cannot enter the premises. So even if you have a 99 or a 100.
They say now it isn't really a true fever. Your body temperature can range. Hi, Cynthia.
Cynthia, welcome in, Candy Mom. Good to see you, another one of our members. Good to see you, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. We should have had paper menus ever since they could have easily been printed years ago.
As you guys know, I worked in a restaurant for several years.
But I
swear.
Right, but it's all about cost.
No, I agree with that.
Okay, and not only that, people are supposed to be, as a hostess.
Yes, we had to.
You're supposed to be wiping them down anyway.
We did.
So if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you should be wiping them down, which I know you were. Mm-hmm. So that should be taken into account anyway. But paper it makes sense now. You just dispose of them. They're gone. That's it. But there's a
you're
cost
right.
to
There is a
that.
cost.
There's a major cost to that. They're going to have to reprint.
If you've ever been to a cheesecake factory, I think their menu is this thick. So they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
They might have to kind of reduce, which I think
They probably will
anyway.
reduce the menu anyway. Let's see. Temperature checks. All employees with flu-like symptoms are advised to stay home. Doors to be wiped regularly. All staff behind counters must wear gloves, except for bartenders, which I guess makes sense. Bartenders to sanitize their hands after making each drink order.
Well, they're already working with alcohol, so no, just kidding.
I guess.
Just splash a little vodka.
Seated tables are to be 6 feet apart. Phase 1, limited restaurant bar capacity is 50%. Phase 2, bar capacity 75%. So there you go. So that's restaurants. So far, hotels and restaurants, all of this is very doable. And very doable fast. This is not something that's going to take months for them to get ready, in my opinion. What are you laughing at?
Cynthia, don't waste the alcohol.
I remember on the Disney cruise, they had crews standing outside. Oh, that's true. Eatery, and you cannot go in until you wipe down your hands. That makes sense. Absolutely. That's why it's over 100. Some people will say, yeah, absolutely. Many restaurants here use paper menus already because they change the menu every day. Yeah, there you go.
A smaller menu, you're right. They like to mix it up. But there are some places where it's pretty standard all the time. And you're right. I can see where it's a cost issue.
Never happened. Now, Andrew, you say never happened. What do you think will never happen? I'm curious.
The guidelines.
All the guidelines? We'll see. Lots of it is common sense we should already be doing. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of this so far, what they've said in the guidelines and even the mandates, is very doable stuff. None of this is life-altering or major changes for Disney, even, in my opinion. Again, I want to know what you guys think in the chat. But now, movie theaters and entertainment, I'm not going to really get in. I guess we can kind of touch on that. Guidelines, touchless sanitizer at the entry. Phase 1 and Phase 2, staff 65 and over are encouraged to stay home. That's it for guidelines at movie theaters.
65 and older people.
Well, well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and that's true, Russ. Unfortunately, they don't. I agree 100%.
Unfortunately.
But that's the unfortunate part. Movie theaters, all employees required to wear face masks, hand sanitizer at entry to be in visible sight. Temperature checks for staff. Again, all employees flu-like symptoms stay home. Staff to wipe down railings, cup holders, and seats prior to each movie. Every single seat. They should be doing that anyway because, to be honest with you, they got to go in and clean it out to get all the stuff off the floor. Just wipe the seats. Staff to leave doors open until the movie begins and open the doors 2 minutes prior to the movie ending. That's interesting. And then Phase 1, no more than 4 people in each group with 2 seats between each party.
Wow.
Phase 2, no more than 6 people in each group with 1 seat between each party. Interesting. Very interesting. So there we go, except masks. All right. Unfortunately, many people.
Well, that would get rid of Mason's phobia. He hates being in the movie theater sitting next to someone he doesn't know.
That's true.
This will do him some good for a while.
Yep. And then theme parks. And again, they break theme parks down into 2 types of theme parks. There's the small theme park, think Gatorland, think Top Golf, Fun Spot, those kind of things. They're the small theme parks. Big theme parks are Disney, Universal, Legoland, those kind of things. They're all big. Should be before every drink, Andrea Houston, then the customer can see them do it. That's true. Melissa just looks grossed out by this whole conversation. She's not.
I need to like my visual, like my.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but Melissa's hair is different.
Yes, I got some compliments in there. I appreciate that.
Nice.
I'm adjusting. That's what happens when you have to social distance and you have to find something to do. You try permanent hair color for the first time in your life ever, but my grays are covered up, so that's a plus.
Yeah, ought to make date night special at the movies. I agree. James, that's a good point. Date night would be awesome. I know. That would be great right about now. But anyway, so let's get into theme parks. We're going to talk large theme parks because that's Disney. And then we're going to get into some speculation. So guidelines for large theme parks. Tape marking of 6 feet apart in each ride and attraction queue. In the queue. So it sounds like in some instances, there's still going to be queuing allowed. Everybody's saying they're going to go to as much virtual queuing as they can. They're probably going to do that to an extent, but there is going to be queuing. So Melissa and I will be standing here. 6 feet behind us will be the next one. 6 feet behind them. 6 feet. They probably have already started the taping, in my opinion.
Sure.
I'm sure Disney. I'm sure they knew this was coming.
Well,
Rachel loves Disney. Welcome
hi,
in.
Rachel. I know I always see your screen name, Rachel, and it changes. It takes me a second. But then when you ask for Camden, I'm like, oh, Rachel.
So they're probably going to do that already. If they haven't started, Disney's going to be starting to do the tape thing. I have no doubt about that. Staff to regularly wipe down surfaces at random. I don't really know what at random means. What's
just whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, that could be every 5 minutes. That could be every 1 minute, every half an hour.
Maybe depending on how busy the more people that come, they'll try to do it more often. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know either. And then phase 1 and phase 2, staff who are 65 and older are encouraged to stay home.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else. Hey, G. Wilson, good to see you. Welcome in. Russ says Disney is the king at putting tape on the ground.
That's true.
Right.
And ropes.
It's true. They're experts at doing the tape thing. I mean, if they can decorate Magic Kingdom from Halloween to Christmas overnight, putting tape down is nothing. Are you kidding me? They can do that.
Imagine the amount of money they'll have to spend on tape, though.
Nah, they'll be
for
able to
every
do it.
single attraction and ride, they got to put 6 feet apart spacing tape.
But they'll get it done. They
might as well just use spray paint.
Disney's going to start selling tape. No, they can't. You don't want to spray paint it because you don't want it to be permanent for one.
Well,
because then it costs more money to have to go back and repaint.
Maybe.
No, you don't want that. Tape's easy.
I wonder if there's some kind of
they can do it.
Put down there can be scrubbed up when it's done.
Well, first off, they've already started putting tape down over in Shanghai. I've seen pictures of it. They've already done it, showing 6 feet apart for some of their queues.
Thank you, Donna.
So I agree. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that very, very much.
Likely story, Charlie.
Just easy. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's okay. No problem. They should use sidewalk chalk paint. Again, it's not going to work because if it rains, it's gone.
Well, if it's the chalk paint, that lasts longer, right? Isn't that what they use when they do the drawings on the in Epcot and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's so it lasts.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think they should use something that can be scrubbed up, but it's more permanent, like just when it rains or gets wet. I think that would be more cost effective. I mean,
yeah, I guess so.
Because tape can also wear off and they have to put it down again.
Amy, good to see you.
Always stepping on it.
Yep, AJC Magic TV. Welcome in, Amy. Good to see you. Good to see.
Ooh, adhesive road tape. Who knew?
Yeah, that would work.
Funny that there are things that exist you never even heard of.
I know, it's true. Let's see. Gaffer tape is good too. The stuff used on stages for marking positions.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan, yeah, they could do that. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many different things. They know what they're doing. They're going to get the right stuff up and ready to go for sure. I have no doubt about that. So those are just the guidelines. Interesting enough, that's it for guidelines. Now, these are the mandates. Now, the mandates, even that, they're not a ton. Unless I'm missing some, which I could be. Yeah, here we go. All employees required to wear a face mask. All of them. So they all have to wear them. Touchless hand sanitizer at each ticketing entry and turnstile.
Which they
kind of had that
before when this all started.
Mm-hmm.
And there were hand washing stations throughout the park too, back in March.
Yeah, they are such strange times. I agree.
Yeah, they are, Rhiannon.
Yep, but will they have to post a cast member to be line distancing police? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that. Touchless hand sanitizer at each ride attraction entry and exit. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean there'll be one for each. Like if you're in a dune buggy, you're not going to have one. The next person's going to have one. Just when you get off, there's going to be something there.
But that's smart.
Right. Mm-hmm. Temperature checks for staff prior to shift. Again, temperature above 100.4, they're going to ask you to go home. All employees with flu-like symptoms advised to stay home. Wipe down all railings and surfaces after every use. That's going to be an interesting one.
How do you do that?
And then phase 1 capacity is 50%. Phase 2 capacity is 75%.
You'd have to have a cast member standing by every single railing just constantly wiping that thing down.
They might.
I mean, I think that's almost impossible.
Yep, I agree. For phase 1, I wonder if this is 50% of max capacity. How many less people would this be on non-peak days like Christmas and Halloween? I agree. And that was the point I was going to make, Meredith. Disney World's Magic Kingdom capacity is 100,000 people. So 50% is still 50,000 people. That's a lot of people. So when they say 50% capacity is capacity, in my opinion. When you've hit capacity, that means you've hit the max. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And Donna and make some really. There was also another one that skipped really quick. Where did it go? Darn it. Someone had a comment I wanted to...
Well, what was the comment? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Lisa and Joey, just about meet and greets and inside the stores, because the stores are always so jam-packed. I mean, obviously, in the checkout lines, you can put the tape down, but you're right. I mean, unless they have to do like you're doing right now. If you go to Walmart, they make you stand outside, spaced apart, and they call you in. And so many people are let in at a time. That's what they're going to have to do at the stores, too, based on...
Right.
So you're not neck and neck. You're not going to be able to just freely walk in like you do now.
But see, G. Wilson, I'm going to touch on that. The temperature check thing has me puzzled. Just walking from the monorail to the entrance of the park, you break out in a major sweat. Here's the thing. None of this so far has anything to do with guests.
Temperature.
That's the one thing in all of these mandates and guidelines that I have seen. They have nothing to do with guests. All of these mandates are employees. The employees have to wear masks. The employees have to take temperature checks, not guests. I don't know if that's going to change, but right now, that's how it is. Well, is 100,000 for all of Walt Disney World or just the Magic Kingdom? Just the Magic Kingdom. They can get 100,000 people in that place. Hey, Avery, the Cuban American. Welcome in, Avery. Good to see you, buddy. You have to take into account all the workers into the capacity number, as it will apply to everyone on site. Oh, I agree. Absolutely. But I thought the 100,000 I thought that was 100,000 guests. I don't think that that's including employees, but maybe it is. But even still, let's say you got 2,000 employees working at the Magic Kingdom. And I even think that's too many. I don't think you have 2,000 employees working at Magic Kingdom at once.
It's hard to say. You think about all the staff in the restaurants, all the characters, all the people behind the scenes. I wouldn't have any idea what a standard number is in a given day in a park. How many cast members are in there? That's a really good question.
Yeah, I don't know. But that being said, so true. I usually am the one holding the back of our group, so no one else in our family gets upset.
Oh.
Exactly. About cues like a haunted mansion where they cram you in.
Oh my gosh.
But see, we'll get into that in a second, but that's not going to happen. I hate to say it, but unfortunately the stretching room, we're going to bypass the stretching room for a while. They're not even going to do that. They're just going to, it's just going to be open. You're going to walk right through and you're going to go right to the ride.
I mean, I get it.
That's going to happen. I agree. No pre-shows on rides. That's exactly right. Yeah. You're not going to get it. So no pre-show on that one. None of the pre-shows on like Pandora, where you go in and the guy does we got to kill all the things.
That one, I hate that one anyway.
No pre-show on Dinosaur. Well, hello there. You know, you're not going to get any of that. It's going to go straight to the ride. No, they're just not.
But the new Star Wars ride, like a whole lot of it is like a pre-show. I mean, you're standing in close quarters in there. You're in, oh my gosh.
Well, that's true, because how do you do that? Because unless they just skip the ship, you know, when you get on the ship and you get captured, everybody's close together on Rise of the Resistance. How are they going to do that?
Yikes.
Unless they put tape down inside.
That's going to be rough.
It's going to be interesting times.
That sucks. Oh God.
Well, Andrew Houston, here's what I'll say on that. I'm going to say this. I've been a big proponent that I don't really even want to get into it. We do have certain rights as Americans, and they can't be ignored. Like saying people have to stay home from work. We're both working, so we're very fortunate.
We're very lucky.
At some point, everybody has a line in the sand where they say, "I need to get back to work." So I get what you're saying, but at some point that's going to have to happen. I mean, people, they can't make money, they can't pay their bills, they can't pay their mortgage, they can't pay their rent, they need to get food, they need to make their car payments. At some point, enough's going to be enough for a lot of people, and they're going to say, I need to get back to work.
It's such a hard subject. There's so many factors involved, so many
I understand, right, but if we take the proper precaution, and that doesn't mean I don't care about people and I'm not being diligent, I'm not washing my hands, and I'm sneezing all over the place. Of course, I don't want anything to happen to anybody. But I do understand that ultimately, at some point, we're going to have to get back to work. And I think they understand that. And that's why they're doing these steps at this point in a lot of ways. You know that the security force is going to need to expand and retrain. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things. If people would just take their time, slow down. I think part of the problem in today's world is everything is go, 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 rush, rush, rush. if you slow down a little bit, take the extra effort, take the extra time, wash your hands a little bit more, wear the mask if you feel that insecure about, not insecure, but if you're that leery about it, wear the mask. Absolutely. I have no problem with that.
Well, the thing is, there's always those people that aren't going to follow the rules. They're always going to cause it. There's always that. And that's what's so frustrating. You think if anything that we'd learn from all of this is to think about what we're doing and take our time.
Right.
But sadly, it's not going to be the case.
No.
And that's what's so frustrating.
Right. Bill, here's my thing. The state has bills also. I agree with you there. But the problem is, I don't like to listen to the governors and the mayors and the congressmen. They're not suffering, okay? They make their money. They're living in nice houses, nice mansions, and they're getting their paychecks every week, and they're having people go out and buy their food. And I think they're a little bit out of touch, in my opinion. They're not sitting at home with no paycheck coming in a family of 4 that doesn't have money coming in at the moment. So I think they're a little out of touch. Movie stars and those people, I don't even listen to them. They have no clue. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting in his hot tub smoking one of his Cuban cigars and talking about stay at home. It's like, dude, get out of my face.
You got a movie theater, a basketball
Yeah, exactly.
court,
He has no idea what it's
Get
like
out
to
of
town.
suffer.
So I don't even want to hear it.
In his hot tub.
I wish the security checks would have been changed to airport style like Universal. Yeah, they could do that. Donna, yes, many other group rides. Like, it's true. Donna made a good point. How do you do Jungle Cruise? They cram you in there. How do you do Jungle Cruise? How are you going to do the safari? Three in each row, every other row, maybe? Yeah. I just, very out of touch. Yes, I do think they're out of touch, Charlie. That's my point. I'm sorry. I think, when they say, oh, stay at home. It's like, you stay at home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my problem with this. It's not that I don't want people to be cautious. I don't want anybody to get sick. But as a governor, when he says, well, we're going to have to stay home for the next 6 weeks, I'm like, okay, well, why don't you take your paycheck and send your paycheck to the people and you go without? Let's see how fast the government changes their mind then. So that's all. And I understand it. But it just...
We're trying to think from other people's perspective.
I am. I'm trying to, because again, we're working, so
it's fine.
Yeah, we've been blessed.
But there's so many people that aren't. I have so many friends and family, and I know Andrea was saying, what with her husband working at a hospital, it's all the things they have to go through in terms of the disinfecting that my sister does too, and it is crazy the things they make you do, and you have to stay away from. It's hard. It's hard times. Good
point, James. Buses and boats.
Right.
The only thing I can think is as you get on the boat, the captain of the boat will say, please sit such and such in marked seats, because they're probably going to mark the seats some way with tape or something. Bus, the same thing. The bus driver will say, please sit in the marked seats, and every other seat will be marked or something like that. That's ultimately what I think they'll have to do.
Hey, John.
Yep, I think that's what they'll have to do. Who's here? John Hazelton, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. You're right. People never follow rules. No, they don't. No. People never follow rules.
I mean, that's another reason why the park cannot be filled to capacity, because there's not going to be room to get people from A to B with distancing on the buses and the boats and the monorails and it's really hard to wrap your head around this and all the things that they have to go
That's
through.
Exactly right. And this is,
right.
and I'm going to touch on, I'm going to run with this. Donna says, and now that I have a severely compromised immune system, I don't know when I'll ever get back to the parks again. Here's the thing, Donna, even if we followed every single rule, even if the park stayed closed for the next 6 months, there's still no guarantee that this virus is going away. So you're right. Ultimately, what are you going to do?
That is so sad.
I'm with you 100%. And this is what's ultimately, at some point, you too will have a line in the sand where you'll say, or you won't. And your safety is what's paramount.
Absolutely.
You need to be safe. So, we want you back in the parks, but we also want you to be safe.
Sanitize ourselves and we'll just come
over. We'll just come over. We'll sanitize ourselves.
We're inviting ourselves over to Donna's house.
Yeah, no, we're coming over to Donna's house. We're inviting ourselves over. What's up, Ray J? Welcome in, buddy. I'm so sorry to hear that. What a wonderful gesture of love. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Kay Atwood says, my thing is you have parents who take their kids to the parks when they are sick.
Yeah.
The mom who took her kid to Disneyland when it had the measles, did she have that right?
Yes.
Yes, was it right? No. Well, it's called common sense. Should she be taking her kid to the? No, absolutely not. But does she have the right to do that? Yes, she does. Can you tell her no? That's the fine line. That's where it gets a little gray, ultimately in that respect. So I get it. Kay Atwood, that's a great point.
Yeah.
But I think all of these mandates and all of these guidelines are very doable for Disney like that. I don't think any of these are something that's going to take a ton of time. Do you?
I don't know. I mean, I know they can do it. I don't know. I'm just so torn. I mean, part of me wants to be selfish and be like, I just want to get out of this apartment. But I mean, that's not the way you should be looking at things. Everybody feels like that. So, and everybody's going stir crazy. I just want to do what's best for everybody and everybody to stay healthy and be safe. And I'm trying to have faith in the system that they're going to make the right decisions. So, and that when they do open, that I should feel like as long as I take the proper precautions, then it should be okay.
Right. I agree, Donna, and that is the trickle-down effect. I agree with you. She says, well, then the trickle-down effect is if she can't go, then Sam and Richard can't go either for fear that they'll bring something home with them. I understand. I agree. I mean, that's the worst part about it is, but what you could do, Donna, is you could take their temperature and sanitize them before they come back in the door.
To get one of those, like, chambers. And
yes.
Like a car wash outside. But then it's still, no, you have to have them suffer with you because that's just not fair.
Exactly. I feel for you. Donna, we do feel for you, dear. And that's why we're really hoping ultimately that they're able to get past this and, you'll be able to get out there and go to the parks because they're not the same if you're not there.
Yeah, that's true, Meredith.
I am.
Probably.
Sure. Why not?
Horrible to
Absolutely.
Say.
Why? Why is that horrible?
No, I know.
I don't understand that. This is my problem: is if they say they're reopening, and people want to go, more power to them. I have no problem with that. There should be nobody upset with anybody that wants to go to these parks if they're going to reopen these parks.
It's choice at that point that you can make, knowing your situation.
It is, but you got to know you.
Right.
You're not sick. You're you're washing your hands, you're sanitizing, fine, you're wearing the mask.
We've got masks, we've got gloves.
If you want to go to the park, I have no problem with you going to the park. I really don't. Now, if you've got the symptoms, maybe you shouldn't be there, okay? Maybe you should think about in that respect. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you might have it and not even know it because you don't have the symptoms. Well, that's not your fault then. You don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. But if the day the park's open, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be clean. I'm going to be wearing a mask. I'm going to have my sanitizer with me. I'm going to do the social distancing. I'm going to do whatever. But yes, I'll be there.
Don't apologize, Tina. I'm hoping your night gets better.
Oh, what'd she say?
She said she's got a lot going on.
Oh, no.
Hopefully
please.
I hope it's
not bad.
Just, life in general.
Yeah, it is frustrating, Donna. I know, dear. We're praying things work out here, and then who knows? Maybe we'll all get back in the parks. I understand that everyone should respect each other, but that is not going to happen. I saw a man wearing a mask. He took it off to sneeze. Yeah, I know.
Like,
part of that is common, and part of that is common sense too. He's not thinking.
Stupid. Oh, I don't think it's mean to say, but it's true. I'm like, you're the second person I've heard say that, and they were in a store. And it was an employee at the stupid supermarket,
right.
And I'm like, wow, the whole point of having the mask. I'm like, what is wrong with people?
And Avery, you're right, but it's being educated. Be educated. Know you. Like I know me. I know my health conditions. I know what I can do, what I can't do. I know when I feel bad. I understand. You're right. Know you and know before you go. That's exactly right.
But he still plays volleyball with 100. No, he will not go to Disney if he has a fever. I would not let that happen.
Thank you. Like I would let it happen too. So thank you for painting me into that. God, man, she's in trouble.
You did it to yourself.
No, I did not. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, she's back. Welcome back. Hi, Cynthia. I agree, Walt. I really hope people feel safe to go. I think Disney will do everything in its power to make us safe. It's tough to live in fear of things we can't see. Just use common sense. Right. And that's the thing. Right. And look, that's the thing is fear is a driver for everybody. Mm-hmm. Fear drives everybody. It drives her incredibly. A lot. It just does. For the longest time, she wouldn't move down here for fear of this, fear of that. I get it. I have less of that.
I'm more afraid of change than I am.
But fear is a big driver, and people use fear to their advantage. They do. They have for years. But, ultimately, fear only goes so far, though. And then that's when people will, again, like I said, draw that line in the sand and make a choice. Me too, Amy. It really difficult and sad when all my friends can go to the parks, but I can't. Hopefully that will change, and I'll be allowed back to go back in time.
That's devastating. That would depress me terribly.
Me too.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Steve's in the house. Steve's Road. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. So now I'm going to ask you guys all some questions. And I think kind of how we've been talking this whole time and reading the chat, I know where a lot of these questions are going to go, but I'm going to ask them anyway. First, I'm going to ask Melissa, then I'm going to see what the chat says. Let's see what we got here. I have our pain date. Yep. Oh, my gosh, that'd be so much fun. First question, will you go back to Disney right away, or will you wait a while to see how things progress? What about you?
Oh, we just said that. I mean, you and I will be
well,
there. As long as we're healthy and well, and we feel like, the proper precautions are being taken, we'll go back right away. Yeah. I mean, we're in Florida. I mean, we came down here for that, and fortunately we have, we are in good health, and again, we'll try to be as smart with our decision as we can, but I'm not afraid to go to the park per se. I mean, we've taken every precaution. We've stayed home, and we literally only go out to go to the store, take the dog out for walks. I mean, we've been keeping distance. We haven't been, so I don't feel like we've had exposure or things that would be.
Me either. I mean, I'm going. Again, I understand. I'm not an overly educated person, but I do have a lot of common sense, and I understand what I need to do to keep myself healthy. And I mean that in all sincerity and totally serious. I'm not joking. I understand what needs to be done to keep me healthy. Now, you're right. Somebody said it earlier, not everybody's going to follow the rules, and that's fine. But if you're aware of your surroundings, which some people aren't at times.
I'm a little oblivious.
At times. But if you're aware of your surroundings and you're taking your precautions, that's all you can really, really do.
Well, Joey and Lisa said they're going to wear their Ghostbusters hazmat suits. I said that we have to wear the suits from Monsters, Inc. for the child detection.
Yeah. And that's all you can ultimately do. You're going to do, if you want to go, you're going to go. And you understand the risks by going.
You need to know you.
And I don't even want to get into the risks of, we can have a stream on this one night. Just look at the numbers, of the people that get it compared to the people that are really bad off and those people who aren't. So just because you get it, not that I want anybody to get it, but it doesn't mean it's a death sentence for everybody. Now for Donna, obviously we wouldn't never want you to get it, dear, or anybody really, of course, anybody. But I'm just saying, if
they know.
Yeah, they know what I mean. But anyway, so I agree. But what does everybody else say? I would. What does she say?
Andrea, you're very sweet.
What's that? What's she say?
She said, if Walt Disney World was full of people like you and Melissa, it would go smoothly.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you just be smart. Be smart. Be courteous of other people. It's that simple. And unfortunately, at Disney World, a lot of times people aren't smart or courteous. Me first. Me first. Me first. I have to get on the ride first. Push by people. It's terrible.
And Michelle just put a post there that they'd be traveling from New York, plus the exposure for people coming in, out, and all over the world. And we've heard rumors. We don't know how true this is, but with having the limited capacity in the parks, we had read somewhere where they said they may start with strictly like local Florida members.
Yeah, and that's a rumor.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that might be a good starting point. I don't know, because you're right. I mean, there are different parts, like people, they were just saying 2 weeks ago when I got here that people coming from New York, New Jersey, certain areas, as soon as you got to Florida, you had to literally quarantine yourself for 2 weeks and not leave the house where you're staying.
Right.
So, that's exactly right. That's a big deal. And,
right.
I agree with you. That's hard. So we don't really know all what's going to happen just yet. So we're going to wait. We're going to listen.
We'll see.
And see what they've decided to do and kind of go from there.
Yeah, and he says, I don't like it, but if we don't have the 200 million dead, as he said at the beginning, part of that is because we've taken the proper precautions, but I don't think we're ever going to hit that number. I just don't.
Certainly hope
I don't think so. I mean, the numbers prove it. I mean, but I just saying. That's true, Walt. Most people experience only mild to moderate symptoms, and some people are asymptomatic. Well, but see that, Donna, this is what, and I'm not gonna get into this majorly, but this is the problem I have with the media. They never discuss that. All they discuss are the terrible cases, the horrible deaths. They never look at the other side of it and say 95% of the people are asymptomatic or have moderate symptoms. They never touch on that. And everybody is scared out of their minds, and they think it's a death sentence if they get this.
But it's been that way in the media for
and it can be for some. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it can't. But you got to look at both sides of it, and media never looks at both sides of it. They just don't. I'm sorry.
And I've pretty much chosen not, because like Walt says, I have that kind of fear factor going on. I choose not to watch things. I educate myself or have Walt do the research. He fills me in because I don't need to add that. I stress myself out enough, and I don't need to add extra misery as long as we're taking the proper precautions and being informed. I can't do that to myself. So it just makes me frustrated.
Yeah, Russ says, I'm going as soon as I can, plan to move as soon as I can, also waiting to see how the procedures work and what Disney is doing before making a definite decision, plus how much else is open. Nothing's open.
Yeah, exactly.
We did one, and it was the most awesome experience ever, better than parks. Huh. All right. Oh, gosh, it jumped on me. I want to read some of these comments. No, we'll wait. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Michelle.
Let's see here. Joey's World. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. That's it. Just one family per park day. I agree with that. That's a good idea. It's going to be interesting times for sure. It is. I think the cruise lines will open much more slowly. Oh, I don't think the cruise lines are opening again this year.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Yep, I'll follow all the rules.
They were a death trap before any of this happened.
I mean,
so
there were people getting
floating,
immune compromised, 1-year-old, 2 7-year-old mom. I agree, Rhiannon. Again, and it's knowing your family, knowing who you are. Yes. Like, for instance, if I go out and I'm going to the parks and all, I'm not inviting my parents down. No. They're 76 and 70, and my mom's got poor health anyway.
Poor health.
Absolutely not. So you have to understand all that.
Yeah.
Take that into account.
We left all our family behind, so we don't have
No, exactly.
We just have Mason, and we put him in the closet anyway.
Well, it's not even the media loves chaos. Yeah. Okay, the old saying, everybody loves a train wreck. Yeah, there's truth to that. I mean, that's where they get their ratings. If we did more testing, I bet you would find more people had this, which lowers the death rate percentage. Exactly. That's the other thing. You'd be surprised. Just look at the numbers. That's all I'm asking. We've had, I think, 55,000 deaths. There are how many tens of hundreds of millions of people in this country? I mean, I don't even know. It was 620 million people in the United States, and part of it is because we've taken precautions and we've locked down. Coughing into your elbow, cover your sneeze, wash your hands often, clean and sanitize more. I don't touch door handles.
Yeah, I always
these are things and me.
I open the door handles if I'm somewhere.
Right, and the whole time we've been on this stream, what have I been doing?
Oh, I know. I have a horrible habit of touching my face.
I touch my face, but you know what? I'll go in there, and the first thing I'll do is hand sanitize. But it's too late now. I've touched my face 10 times.
And oh my gosh, but yes, that is a horrible habit. I mean, you guys always see me on here, always playing with my hair, touching, or it's an awful habit.
Good testing resume is essential to management and identification. I agree 100%. Rob says, read an interview tonight with the CEO of Southwest Airlines. The capacity now is 6%. Touched on how crucial Disney opening in any form to the entire travel industry makes sense. Yeah.
I know our son came down with me to help me move 2 weeks ago. When he flew back, there were 7 people on his flight. 7. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised they're even really flying. I mean, I guess they have to, but for 7 people, I can't imagine how much money they lost taking that flight. So, oh wow.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
That's crazy.
Okay, what are you doing? You're doing something bad. 2 doctors said the other night that the real number is more like 0.3% instead of 5%. I mean, that's not something you hear a lot, Charlie. What you're hearing is, like even I read on the Orlando Sentinel, they said deaths have skyrocketed. We've had 300 deaths or 900 total deaths. I'm like, 900 out of 28 million people that live in the state of Florida? And you're calling that
terrible.
It's terrible that anybody dies.
But you're right when you're looking at percentages.
They make it seem like skyrocketed. I don't know. The media, I believe half of what I see and none of what I read. Almost.
Okay, that's a very good point. Oh my gosh, your dad's 89. You can't risk
Exactly.
anything.
That's exactly right, Kay. Yeah. And look, if my mom and dad lived close to me or lived with me,
there's no
as much as I love Disney, I'm not going.
No, absolutely not.
I can't. But they live 900 miles away, and
hooray! No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Mom and Papa.
When I was at the resort, I wiped the bathroom down, used oils in my diffuser, trying to be proactive. Yeah, exactly. That's all you got to do. So my next question, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you guys this question number 2. Has the pandemic affected you to the point that now you financially can't go?
Right.
Because it's one thing to say, yes, I want to go.
Right.
But for those people that are now out of jobs, who maybe had trips planned, obviously that's out the door for them.
Yeah,
they're going to have to cancel.
Right.
You know, that's why I always laugh when people say the parks are going to be packed. I don't think they're going to be packed at all.
No.
Nobody from overseas can come.
Yeah.
Many people here are out of a job, and the last thing they're thinking about is going to Disney because they just don't have the money. Even if they want to go, they can't go, including the people local in Florida.
Yeah.
We're such a tourist town down here. I say town, but tourism is such a huge part of the economy, and there's so many people out of work, they can't afford to go even if they wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, has that affected anybody?
And Jonathan made a good point too. It's great you're taking all the precautions, but the guy behind you in line, may be filthy. So you are taking that risk. Hey, Mike. I hope we said hi. I did say hi to Mike.
I feel for people like me where your sight is in their fingers because now we have to change the way we do it. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm lucky I can now homework. Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Living here and being an AP, we can still do it. Right. Yeah. Exactly. But for some people, maybe they had to give up their annual pass because they couldn't afford to do it. Or you never know. I had already purchased everything. Was fortunate just to move it. Yeah, exactly, Steve. And being able to move it was the best part.
Yeah. I'm glad they're working.
And that was the thing. You had already purchased everything. Because with Disney, you don't necessarily have to pay for everything up front. You can pay a little bit at a time. Some people may not be able to do that.
Sure.
Been selling blood and plasma all year for this trip. We are going. I know. I'm with you. We used to have 3 kids. We sold 1. That's how we used to go. Doesn't affect me a lot.
It's like Chuck from the Happy Days.
Exactly.
He just doesn't exist anymore.
Chuck just doesn't exist anymore. Do you guys remember that? Anybody watch Happy Days when it first came out? They used to have a second son. It wasn't just Richie. It was Chuck. Chuck just disappeared.
Chuck went away to college and never came home.
Never. Was never mentioned again, too. He must have flunked out. I got this on. Yeah, it's true. I'm telling you. No more Chuck. No more anything. I'm telling you. Is that what happened to me? Y'all sold me? No, Cynthia, never. We would never do that. But there are a lot of people that ultimately do not. They can't go now because they're out of work. And, do we go to Disney or do we buy milk and bread?
Sure. Exactly.
And that reverts me back to the point where I said people got to get back to work because Disney's the last thing on their mind. I remember that. Chuck never came back. He never did.
Chuck?
Donna, he was in, I don't think he was in the entire first season, but he was in most of the first season. And then all of a sudden, that was it. Chuck was gone.
Oh, poor Chuck.
Poor Chuck. He was a good basketball player. I held off on buying my annual pass and plan to get one once I move. I've been blessed to get unemployment and have managed my bills to be okay. Prayers for those.
That's very, very, that's a big blessing.
Look, I'll put it this way. Knock on wood. Please, God. But if something were to happen to one of us, we lost our job, we're in trouble.
Yeah, big trouble.
End of story. We're in trouble.
Really big trouble.
So many people live paycheck to paycheck. They're great. If you're one of those people that put money away and you're prepared and you were smart, that's great. But there are a lot of people in this world that live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. And now they don't have that paycheck. What are they going to do?
Yeah. And whatever money they used to save up for their trip, they're now using. Because that's how we used to do it. We would set aside money every month and we'd pay, how we used to be able to do our Disney trips a long time ago. You just set the money aside little by little by little. We would have had to have tapped into that to pay our bills. We wouldn't have been able to do a trip. So
Charlie and Stacey, we're lucky we both are working still and things should be fine going forward. That's exactly, and that's great. That's where we're all blessed in that respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they never mentioned poor Chuck anymore. He just never existed. I think that was before the show really took off, so it never really hurt.
Don't even know who he is.
Oh my God, Cynthia said she bought the annual pass a week before they closed.
No,
but
she didn't activate it yet, right?
Right, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't start until you use it the first time, and the upside is they're going to be extending it. So in a way, I'm kind of glad because ours were supposed to expire at the end of August, so now they should get us through the fall at this point because they have to extend it. So. I mean, now it'll come up for renewal like Christmas.
Can you please stop doing that?
I'm sorry.
She pushes the desk every single day.
I keep wanting to put my feet up. I need an ottoman.
Rihanna says because it's safe, it isn't safe to send my little one to daycare. I can't run my business, so I just sit on the floor watching VeggieTales or playing kids games. Now it's an adjustment, that's the thing.
But that's really hard.
And that's the hard part about it is we get to that point where it's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. But VeggieTales.
I'm happy with my dad is still able to work. Yep, exactly. See.
Yeah.
Chuck was in 11 episodes. Yeah, right.
Wow.
But he didn't. Right, he didn't finish the whole season. The first full
I don't know how many episodes were in a season.
Oh, I think it was like
it's
back
a lot
then. It was
back
like
then,
20.
Right?
The extra family time is a blessing, though, and soon enough, life will get hectic again. Yeah, it's true.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it is true. Absolutely. All right, next question. Because again, I know we're coming up on 9, but normally this is a 90-minute show. By all means, we hope everybody hangs in there, and I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation. Is it worth going to the parks if there are no fireworks, no parades, no meet and greets, and some of the rides are modified? Yeah. So us as annual pass holders, it's a little bit different. But what if you're somebody booking a trip? If you're going to book a trip, Happily Ever After isn't going to happen. Festival of Fantasy isn't going to happen. You're not going to be able to meet any of the characters, face characters for sure, maybe not even the other characters. Some of the rides like the ones we talked about are going to be modified. Is it worth going? Steve says yes.
And that's because you get the chance to come down pretty frequently. So I think that's a big factor.
Right.
I know for us, even being annual pass holders, if we weren't living in Florida, I'd have to think twice. Now that we're here, it's a no-brainer to me. I mean, we can go anytime we want,
Right.
So, or if we were able to make a few trips a year, absolutely. It wouldn't bother me. But if I'm like where we were before, where we were making the trip once every 2 years, I might wait. Because you're missing out on a lot, especially if you're a family that rarely gets to go.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. No rides, no Happily Ever After, no fireworks, no meet and greets, and you got to pay the same price.
Yeah.
See, that's my problem here. You're not getting the full experience. Now, that's fine, Steve. You say there's more to Disney than rides, and that's all fine and dandy. For me, part of the experience is the rides. Part of the experience is meeting the characters. We wouldn't go. If all that was shut down, we would just delay our next trip till the next time everything was up and running. I just wouldn't, because that's taking away from the experience, and I'm paying for that experience. Now, if Disney is discounting the trip because of all these modifications and things that are shut down, okay, that's a different story. You get what you pay for. But I'm sorry, but if I can't meet any characters, part of going to Disney is meeting Mickey Mouse, seeing Cinderella and Snow White and Jasmine and all those characters. What's so fun?
Rhiannon said, as long as there are snacks are there, I'm there. And I saw people put in there too, like Amy said, because she's going to see friends. And I think that's so
fine.
Much
yeah, I
has
get that.
changed for us in the last year or two because we have you guys now. This is all new. So
right.
We're kind of coming from the perspective of the person who travels to Disney once in a blue moon, family vacation. Our situation's different now. We have people that we want to meet in the parks. We want to spend time with. I mean, when we got here in August last year, the first thing we did was went to Epcot. We sat in the land pavilion and just talked with everybody, and people got snacks over at Sunshine Seasons, and that was fantastic because you didn't have to stop and worry about, we got to go run and do this and do this and do this. And it's a totally different mindset and experience. So yeah, for us right now, I'd go whatever, whenever. But coming from the perspective of a family trip, and you get down here once every few years.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. If they say to me, "Hey, there's going to be no fireworks, no parades," I can't.
Gee Wilson, we had the same conversation. We're kind of curious. Now they're already booking. People are already buying tickets for the Halloween party. So I don't know if they're going to end up changing that, and people are getting refunds. If they're going to do the limited number of guests.
Right.
That'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Okay, that's my next question. Donna makes a good point. I think a lot of people will wait until everything is up and running to get value for the money. That's exactly my point. I'm not getting value for the amount of money that I'm paying if you're shutting down some of the biggest parts of the experience of going to Disney. And Steve, you're right. There's more to Disney than rides, but there are meet and greets, there are experiences, there are shows. If all that's shut down, that's going to mean a lot. I mean, that's going to mean a lot to me living down here. After being stuck in the house for months, we will need a getaway, fireworks and no fireworks. Mm-hmm. Get you. No fireworks, no meet and greets. No shows. They might not even. I don't know.
Now they'll be just spacing probably at the places that have seats, or even places like the junior party. They'll probably have to section off like with tape. Everything will be taped. Everything will be marked or blocked off. I think, but they are going to have to do parks in limited capacity. There's no way.
JoJo said, yes, we missed dragging Walt and Melissa all around.
That was so much fun.
We had so much fun. Those were 2 great days.
Now. Those were awesome.
Apparently,
days.
Shanghai Disneyland tested fireworks last night. Not sure if there's any relevance to Walt Disney World, but it seems like they're trying to figure out how to do fireworks. They could do it, but again, with limited capacity in the parks, they could do it.
Yeah.
They could do it.
And like Charlie even put up there, he's like, they could just shoot them off randomly in the night. You don't know when it's going to happen, so that way you're just walking around anyway.
Russ, your point is well taken. I care about characters now, and you characters talking about us. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% with you. But I still want to see the other characters. Part of the experience for me, and Melissa will tell you, I always go to Disney. I want to see characters. It's part of the experience for me. It may not be for everybody else, but it's a big one for me. I love seeing Mickey and the characters and Goofy and Donald. I love it.
But I'm at the point now, unless it's someone that you don't see very often, I don't care.
Hey, One Stop Mouse, welcome in.
There is one, though, we haven't seen Sorcerer Mickey yet at Hollywood Studios. That's one I want to do. But as of right now, where I'm at, I don't really care about getting photos with characters. I want to get photos with people, with you guys, and with, I like taking photos in Disney, period, with like scenery in the background. But
well, let me ask you this question. Halloween party. Christmas party. Oh. Disney says Halloween party is going to happen. No parade. You going?
That's like the biggest part.
Okay. That's Halloween party.
It's fireworks. It's a show. It's a parade. And it's character meet and greets.
But that's my point is if
I don't know how you do it.
Right. Well, that's just it. What if you can't have it then? Then they have to cancel it. Because you can't have the parade and you can't have the character meet and greets. That's 2 of the biggest parts of the whole thing. And you can't have fireworks. Why do you even have a party? And if you can do all that for the party, why can't you do it regular? I know the parties are less capacity, but I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, we're all speculating right now. We really don't know that any of this is going to happen. I'm sure they have a plan, and we'll find out about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Cynthia.
And that was my next question is, should Disney reduce prices since the experience may be reduced? And I think we all agree that we would like that, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen.
Now that they're already losing money, it's hard to say. See, we're with you, Steve.
Well, Steve, we're with you. As annual pass holders, yes, I agree with that. But don't look at it as, for you, look at it as a family who's never been to Disney before. You're going for the first time.
Or like your family's coming down. You guys are having, you got your niece and your parents and everybody coming down. They might not want that. Us, it's totally different.
Charlie, I like your optimism.
Yep. Here's hoping.
Don't be surprised if it's not. What are we talking? May, June, July. That's only 3 months. And if you're talking
mid-August that it starts.
Yeah, mid-August, but still, you're only talking 3.5 months to get this whole thing fixed. I don't know, man.
Oh, don't apologize, Tina. Thanks for popping in.
No, Tina, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Philly Cruz says, I have tickets to go to the Halloween party. No parade, no fireworks, no character meets. I wouldn't want to go. I agree.
That's the whole experience. That's the Halloween party. So, what are you going to just walk around standing line 6 foot apart for candy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if not everything is open, the park will be filled with
caution, yellow tape.
Or some rope. Yeah, oh, sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Take care, Tina. Thank you for being here, dear. Hope you have a great night. These things might still be able to happen if everyone adheres to the procedures and they are able to enforce it in some way. Oh, sure. And that's the thing. We don't know that this is necessarily going to happen. I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what Disney does.
We're just kind of devil's advocates.
But at some point, what's not going to happen is they can't open in August and then have the parties because they can't. It would be too quick of a turnaround. They got to get used to all of this for a while first. So I don't think we're really that far off. And now that we start having ideas for guidelines and mandates, I want everybody in the chat, if you could tell me now, when do you think Disney is going to open? I've said since the beginning, I thought June 1st. I'm not changing my mind on that. I still think it's going to be June 1st. It might even be earlier than that in some small way. But I'm sticking to June 1st. I want to know what everybody else thinks. What do you think?
Well, we were just reading a thing that said they thought it was going to open partially for Memorial Day weekend, but that sounds kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's pretty close to June 1st. So,
Yeah, containment and control. And I think we're getting there, Andrea, to be honest with you. I think we're getting there. The numbers it's starting to peak. It's starting to plateau at this point. I think we're getting there for containment and control. I really do. I just feel bad for the smaller kids, but don't get to experience Disney like how we used to. I agree.
Andrea doesn't think they're going to open until next year.
The one person doesn't. Andrea, I'll be honest with you. I don't see it happening. I can't see Disney losing that kind of money every single day and being able to be viable in 2021. Look, I know it's Disney and everybody thinks they have a mint of money, but even they're going to run out of money if they can't make money. And somebody can say all they want, Disney Plus, that's only going to take you so far.
Oh yeah, they can't be.
They can't not have the parks. The parks are 37%. I think that was the number they said. 30%, 37% of their income. Another 30% is the movies.
Not making money off it.
They're not making money off of either one of them. I don't see how they can wait till next year. Middle of June, June 1st, July 4th. I was July 1st, but now I think June 1st. Welcome aboard, Steve. I'm just kidding. May 22nd. Oh, I hope you're right. Late fall minimum. Again, you never know, but I don't see it being that long. Russ says, think about the amount of time it will take to bring cast members back, train them on the new guidelines, have the logistics in place, etc. It could take a while. But Disney is also good at that. Yeah, I agree. I think they're already in the process of telling people, come in, we need to train you. I think it's already started, personally. I don't think they're waiting. Now that they have... Too. Yeah. I don't. I just don't see how they can go that long without making money. I just don't.
And James is right. The reduction in the cash reserves puts them in a position to become a target for takeover.
Right.
And we've talked about that too. It's a scary thought.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when your stock drops like this, this gives other companies the idea of maybe. And exactly right. Cash reserves. What do you think they're pulling from right now? I don't see them waiting until next year. I don't either. I just don't see it happening. I have been saying June 15th forever. I think it's June 1st. I still think we're going to stick to that, but we'll see. We'll see. In some capacity, I think they're going to open like that. I mean, they've already been closed. Shanghai's been closed since January. Tokyo's been closed since January or February, something like that. They're losing tons of money over there. But even there, Disney doesn't have the final say. Shanghai and Tokyo, the government has the final say.
Yeah.
They don't.
A lot of it's their money too.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's a little different.
So people will want to compare that. They'll say, "Well, Disney's been closed overseas and those parks for forever." It's because they have to be. The governments won't allow them to reopen those parks. Yeah. Depending on which attraction you're at, it could take up to 5 to 8 training days before everything happens. Well, remember, they're not training all brand new people. They're going to be bringing back people that know the job.
Sure.
And these mandates that they're talking about, this is not rocket science stuff, guys. Hey, wipe that down.
Depends who you're training.
I mean, we're not talking about major training, Mike. So when you're talking 5 to 8 training days, see, I'm going to respectfully disagree because they're probably going to be hiring back a lot of people that already work for them. So they should know the processes.
In that sense, yes. But I remember training people that, like, oh my God, there are some really unintelligent people out there.
Right. But that being said, again, these things aren't rocket science things that you're training them. Wipe that down every time it goes by you. Wipe down that railing. Fill up that hand sanitizer.
You'd be surprised.
We are reaching out to them to see if they heard anything from Disney about this. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I think people now are desperate for work and money too, so they'll probably be willing to work. I swear, I was before. It's like people are just lazy; they don't care.
Well, Detroit Disney Duo, yes, they're not spending a lot actually right now. Costs go down. Yes, they do, but they've got debt. Okay, and debt has to be paid. That's why they had to go out and get loans, kind of to rob Peter to pay Paul. because they needed to extend those maturity dates on that debt. They had debt that was coming up that was due, and they couldn't pay it. They had to get new loans to pay it. So I understand. You're right. Costs are down. They're not doing that, but revenue is at a standstill. Period. And there is still cost. I'm sure in some cases they're running things. There
has to be. I mean, obviously you can't shut off all the. Well, I guess they have their own power system. You said, right? It's not like they have
Right.
Duke Electric or something. I guess they're running. So I know they can't just shut off the AC everywhere. I'm sure refrigerators have to run or certain things have to be powered. But I know you said that's a little different.
Well, Jonathan Chong, I initially would have agreed with that point. He says, remember, part of the decision is local government. And also, if they open, and it doesn't mean anything if they're not making money. So if you're not making money anyways, then be better off to just hold out. No, I almost agreed with you on that, and I thought that way. But then Jeff made a good point, though, with that. He said, look, if you're losing $30 million a day, wouldn't you rather lose $20 million a day instead of 30? So opening, no, they may not make money, but they might be losing less money. It's better to lose 20 million a day than to lose 30 million a day. It's better to lose 10 a day than 20 a day. So I agree with that. But if they can get it open and lose less, they're better off. If that makes sense.
Cynthia goes, and there goes the Star Wars Hotel.
Yeah, I agree. Almost 40,000. I think most will return it and should be already trained. Exactly, James. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. That's why I don't think.
Want their jobs.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Absolutely. That's why I don't think there's a major turnaround on getting people trained.
Yeah.
You're going to be bringing people in that should know what they're doing.
And Andrea's right too. If they open anything too soon, there could be a recurrence. And regardless of, so again, there's so many factors.
Well, but I guess my point is on that, Andrea. My question when you say open it too soon, what is too soon?
Well, we don't know.
Right. I mean, because ultimately, if they're opening it and the virus is still out there, it's always too soon because the virus is still there. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I guess I need to understand and quantify what too soon would even be. Because the minute there's even one case of somebody that says, I was in Disney and now I have COVID.
Yeah.
Just one case, it, and it's going to happen.
Lawsuit. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Even though you have the decision to go, I just find it's such a backward. Just drives me crazy.
Well, listen, the Disney family welcome in. They took loans to pay the shareholders and give execs their bonuses. I don't know what they did with it, and to be honest with you, shareholders have to get paid. That's who pays their bills. They're in business for their shareholders. Well, that's why they're there. I mean, look, that's why they have shareholder meetings all the time, telling them what's coming up and what's the profit, because the shareholders are the people who buy their shares. Buying their shares makes them money. It makes sense. I mean,
yeah, very good point, G. Wilson.
One thing to think about, they are going to have to restock everything, and the supply chains are hurting. It comes down to when they can secure the needed supplies. Yeah. But Disney's a big company, and again, I'm sure they're talking to these supply chains already. Sure. Look, they got it. They're being proactive. You're right, and but with lower capacity means lower demand. Local government, either Orange or Osceola County, are losing huge amounts of revenue with the resorts closed. I agree. Again, I said that earlier. A huge part of the economy in Central Florida and most of Florida in general is the tourism business. They need it. Our health means more than any amount of money. Yes, it does. I agree with you. But that being said, again, like I said, at some point, if I'm healthy as a horse, but I die of starvation because I don't have any money to go out and buy any food for my family, where does that come in that respect? So, again, there's a fine line there. I could be healthy as a horse, but if I don't have money to pay for food or electricity or housing and I'm homeless, at some point we got to make money again. But you're right, Andrea. Yeah. But again, there's proper steps we can take to keep ourselves healthy, for sure. DVC, don't forget DVC. There are points from canceled trips. Oh, I agree. Yeah. We don't have any. We don't have any points until next year anyway. We already banked and borrowed, so we're out of it. Hi guys, good to see you, Alyssa and Neil. Too soon is without a vaccine. Yeah. We're talking about the world coming to Walt Disney World. Oh, I agree, but I think part of it, Andrea, they're not going to let people come to Walt Disney World. I think that's part of the phase is until the president allows for travel to come back into the country, that's going to be a while. And what do we do if they never find a vaccine?
Well, don't they have one? It's just a matter of producing it?
No, they don't have a vaccine.
Okay, I thought for some reason
The virus will always be out there. It's a matter of our emergency systems being able to handle the number of cases. As long as those numbers are manageable, then things can keep open. Right, I agree. And that was part of the original fear, was they were afraid that they were going to get overrun to the point that they weren't going to be able to manage it. I think we're at a point now where they can manage it. I think a lot of them are like that. And that's why you're starting to see them say, we're going to reopen.
That's why they're debating it right now. Because they feel like they're at that point, but I think they need to make sure they are researching to make sure we're at that point.
Are they going to screen people before they enter the park? No. I don't think they will. I don't think they can do that.
As of right now.
I mean, maybe that's one of the phases, but as of what they've talked about so far, it's not part of the mandates. It's not mentioned in the mandates. Andrew says, oh boy, we're screwed all. We're really not. Look, I said it earlier. I said, I think the majority of us, if we get it, and not that, I don't want anybody to get it, but I think if you get it, you may get mild symptoms. And I think, the numbers say it, 90-something% of us come out of it just fine. I agree with Walt, but it becomes
I've never been that lucky, though.
a question as to when the company says being open to lower the hemorrhaging, which is fine. What is the risk to adding another bloom in the pandemic there? But again, I don't believe everything the media says. I don't know what blooms these pandemics to make the numbers go up again.
We're not educated enough to probably. Yeah. It's probably getting way too political for us to even.
I hope they open soon, but how do you stop people coming from all over that have homes in Florida also? Many New Yorkers have homes in Florida also. Sure. What about
a lot of snowbirds?
But those people those people that live in New York aren't. I think there's more to it there. Like they may not even be allowed out. I don't even know how that's going. And the numbers are going down in New York.
Like I said earlier, when I came down, they stopped you at the Florida border. We had to pull off to the side, and we had to state where we were coming from. We have to show.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I did tell you that.
She didn't tell me that.
Yes, I did.
No, she didn't.
Anyway, and if you were from New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, you were required to fill out paperwork. I saw somebody, and you had to go to wherever you were destined to go. Stop.
Good Lord, you don't have to put your feet up.
You were required to be quarantined, not social distance, quarantined. And they took an address from you. And I don't know if they'd send cops by to check on you or what, but you had to stay wherever you were destined to go, whatever home, you could not leave. Could not leave. So, if they're still doing that kind of thing, then people won't be able to visit from New York. It just depends on what statutes they put into place and what,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that. I mean, again, you could lie and say, I'm not coming from New York. But if your license plate says New York City, it says New York.
And I had my
it doesn't
license.
matter.
I showed my driver's license. I mean, I had Maryland tags on the car. I even made sure I brought, just in case I didn't know what extreme, I had a copy of our lease agreement here in Florida so they would know that I was moving here. But, they definitely, I mean, you're right. You could lie, but they were checking.
Yeah. So they're taking the proper precautions. Again, it's just one of those things. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited in the fact that when you start hearing about things reopening, part of me is really, truly believing that they feel they have a handle on this. Somewhat of a control and handle. And that they feel like we're at a point now where we can start to move forward. In some areas, and not everywhere. And again, it's not going to be a perfect transition to reopen, guys. So if everybody expects it to go 100% smoothly, I think you're kidding yourself. It's not going to go 100% smoothly. There's going to be some bumps in the road, and there might be some spikes again, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's out of control again. Spikes happen here and there, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm being optimistic.
Meredith's ultimately right. If they could come up with a vaccine, that would change everything.
Well, it does, but
it changes everything.
It's over if they have a vaccine. Yeah. That's it. It's over. If they have a vaccine. Right. End of story. We're allowed to
how
travel
long it
Florida.
takes to produce a vaccine once they find one, but that would be end game there. So that's what we need to hope for, and then everything can be fine.
Yeah, they're convenient house arrests here in Louisville who have been tested positive but refuse to stay home.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Well, guys,
that's sad. I can't imagine being tested positive and refusing to go and saying I'm going out. That is the most selfish, and that makes me so angry.
Yeah. Rule of thumb: if you're sick, stay home. If your kid is sick, don't send them to school. Agree. 100%.
They always say.
Yep. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this conversation. Lots of great enlightening stuff in the chat. You guys have, as usual, have been fantastic. Love all the different comments. Thank you for keeping it respectful. Even if there were differences of opinions. Sure. Ultimately, we all want one thing. We want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to be able to make it, not just physically, but financially. We want everybody to hopefully one day get back to where we were. It's not going to happen overnight. We don't have Thanos here to snap his fingers and correct everything, or Tony Stark to do it for us. But what I do think is that we're getting there, and if we take, if we stop, we slow down, we think, we be rational about things.
Smart.
We're going to be fine. We really, really are. I think we have educated people at all levels in this country, and we're going to ultimately be fine. And health is first, but again, there's a lot of other factors. But I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation tonight. Hopefully, we'll get back to normal times soon. And I had fun with this. Did you?
Oh yeah. Although I just, I know everybody has, and Cynthia just basically states it right. She said we can just all agree that we miss Disney and we miss life.
Yeah.
It's hard times for everybody, and everybody's affected in a lot of different ways. So we really appreciate all of you guys and your opinions, and we respect every single one of you. And thank you for being here. And, we're just praying that we're all going to come out of this and everything's going to be good. And Camden's growling. He hears people outside.
Yeah, he hears people. Every time he hears people, that's what he does.
Yeah.
But thank you all for joining us. Again, it means the world to us. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight, enjoyed the conversation. We definitely did. This was great. I loved it. I think you guys are all wonderful. Again, thank you to all of our new members. Thank you for being here. Join me tomorrow, 6 o'clock. We're going to be doing our daily Disney discussion again. Been having a lot of fun with that. Head on over to the Viapree Project next. Let them know Mouse Talk sent you. Edmund, you're great people. Be sure to check them out. Tomorrow night, Disney Nerd Herders, check them out for Not Quite Ready for Prime Time. D&G Explorers right after them. This and that crew. Thursday nights at 9, you have the DePhilly crew, Ron and Meredith. Check them out. Great people. They do a lot of great stuff. Let's show them some love as well. And Saturday's sports night. Steve and I are finishing up part 2. We've been doing our thumbs up and thumbs down on all the rides and attractions at all the parks. We had a great time with it last Saturday. We're finishing up with with Epcot and Hollywood Studios this week. So come on over 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Not so sports night.
Yeah, there's no sports to talk about. So we're going to do Disney. But guys, thank you again for being here. I had a great time, didn't you?
No, I just really appreciate everybody and hearing everybody's opinion and talking things out. It's good. Yeah,
you guys are all great. Nothing but love. We love you guys. Stay healthy.
John put the candy emoji up there.
Oh, he did. Where?
The little puppy.
Oh,
Candy,
Cam.
come say hi.
But anyway, guys, have a great week. Cam's not going to let Mom pick him up. She wants to say goodbye. No, he doesn't. Oh, my God. Poor dog. She's going to drop him, and I'm going to get mad.
Kimmy.
They can't even see him.
Oh, Kimmy.
There's the dog. There he is. Look, he's like, put him down. Bye. Guys, everybody, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great week. And we'll see y'all soon. Look at the face of the dog. He's like, let him down for crying out loud. Poor buddy. Bye, guys. See you later.